Okay, so we're going to start 4.3 today, and in 4.3 we're going to use tables and graphs to compare different values. So we were using horizontal and vertical lines to kind of help us make comparisons or help us solve different problems. We are still going to be doing that. We're still going to be using graphs, but we're also going to be using tables to help us compare values and to help us solve different equations or different problems. Today we're going to be looking at a certain situation that would require a table, or that we're going to use a table to make that comparison. So we're looking for a new cell phone. We're trying to decide between two companies. Flash Cellular charges $65 a month for the first 400 minutes and 3 cents for each additional minute. Horizon charges $60 a month for the first 400 minutes and then 4 cents for each additional minute. Describe the break-even point, which is the situation for which the costs are the exact same. Okay, so let's go back. Flash charges $65 a month for the first 400 minutes, then 3 cents additional. Horizon charges $60 a month for the first 400 and then 4 cents for each additional. We want the break-even point, meaning when are we going to be spending the exact same amount? So when would we pay the companies the same amount? So we want to figure that out. How many minutes are we going to use our phone? And the cost will be the exact same. So the costs are the same. So here's the thing. If I were just going to use my phone for 400 minutes, which company would I want to choose? I would want to choose Horizon because it's $60 compared to $65, so I'd be saving money there. Well, chances are we're going to be using it more than 400. So we want to figure out what's going to be the best plan, the best option for us, depending on how many minutes we use our phone. So that's where a table can come in and help us. So yes, Flash starts off with charging us more, but they charge us 3 cents, so 1 cent less compared to the 4 cents that Horizon charges. So we're going to look at a table. And what I would do, because we have an input-output table, we're making this comparison with our two plans. These are the number of minutes, but realize these are the number of minutes after the 400. So when we say 0 minutes and you're going to get a 65, it's not saying that we're spending 65 for no minutes. We're saying 65 for 400 minutes. So these are in addition to the 400, and that'll come into play more in the end. So what I want you to do is go ahead and stop the video and plug in your X values and figure out what your output, your Y values, or your price or your cost is going to be. So practice that, use your order of operations, and then come back and then just double check to make sure that you got the right values, the right numbers. Okay, so again, double check your numbers and kind of make a comparison. So Flash appears to be more expensive when we make this comparison. Oh, but here, what happens? It went from being more expensive to being less expensive. It's 50 cents cheaper for Flash than it is Horizon when what? When we've used the phone for 550 additional minutes. We're very close here with the additional 450 minutes. Flash is only 50 cents more. So when we're talking about that break-even point, where we're going to be spending that exact same amount of money, we notice that a change occurs somewhere in between here, in between this 450 and this 550. So that's what we're going to kind of want to focus in on. So again, Flash is more expensive. Ooh, now it's less expensive. So let's see what happens there. After how many minutes are we going to be the exact same amount, or would we be paying the companies the exact same amount? And you'll want to keep referring to your table. I'm getting ready to erase it all. But you'll want to keep referring to your table when we talk about some of this stuff. So when X is greater than or equal to what? Flash's selling price is lower. So when we're talking about the number of minutes, when is Flash cheaper? Flash is cheaper, we notice from our table, after the 550 minutes. Or actually, when it was also equal to 550 minutes. When is X less than or equal to what? Horizon Cellular's price is lower. So when we use how many minutes is Horizon Cellular price lower? So 450 minutes or less, Horizon is cheaper. It's the better option. But if you notice from 550 more, it's going to be better to go with Flash because it is the cheaper price. So again, we said that was kind of where that change occurred. We went that 50 cent change. One was lower, one was higher, and again, just refer back to your table there. So So from the table, we can't tell that exact break-even point. So where the cost or where the price is the exact same. But we do know it's going to occur somewhere between this 450 and this 550, as we just saw in the table, where that slight change in price occurred. So because we know about where it occurs, let's get a closer view. And so instead of this 100-minute spread, let's look, what if we look at 475 minutes, 500 minutes, and 525 minutes, and compare what are they charging us if I use those amounts of minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back up to my table, and I'm actually going to fill in these prices again so we can continue to compare. Okay, so what I want you to do is plug in what happens if we have 475 minutes, 500 minutes, and 525 minutes. So again, we know this change occurs somewhere between the 450 minutes and 550 minutes. So if I use 475 minutes, Flash is 79.25, and Horizon is 79. So Horizon at this point is still cheaper, still a better option. Then I use 500 minutes, and I'm going to be spending $80 for either company. That is my break-even point. So when I'm spending the exact same amount, that is my break-even point. So here's where that change is going to occur. And let's also go ahead and look at 525. If I use 525 minutes, I now spend $80.75 with Flash compared to $81 with Horizon. So again, this is where the change occurs. And after 500 minutes is when Horizon becomes more expensive and Flash is going to be less expensive. It's going to be the cheaper option where we're going to save the most money. So you would have to decide, okay, am I going to use the 400 plus 500 minutes, or am I going to use under 500 minutes? And that's going to help you decide, do I want to go with Flash or do I want to go with Horizon? If I'm going to be spending under that, which option do I want? I would want Horizon because it's the cheaper way to go. If I'm going to be using 500 or more, I want to go with Flash because if you notice, it starts to become the cheaper route. So it's the better option for you. So let's just get some of that written down, what I just talked about. Okay, so the break-even point occurs when X is 500 and the price is $80. So think about what that 500 meant. It wasn't just 500 total minutes, it was 500 in addition to that 400 that we started off with, that we were being charged for the $60 or the $65 depending on the company. So it's important to describe those two variables. So the X value, how many total minutes are used when Flash and Horizon are going to charge you the same amount? Total minutes was 900 minutes. So remember, their plan starts off with 400. That break even occurred with the 500 additional. So that's where that 900 is coming from. The Y value, the amount charged by each phone service at the break even point and when the prices are the same amount, would be $80. So a table can be used to help us make decisions like this, and we definitely want to make good decisions with our money, so it's definitely good to compare and not just go out there all willy-nilly and just pick either company. So you want to do your research and make comparisons. So we are going to be using these tables and graphs to help us interpret information that can help us answer some situations and some questions and problems that we have, like the cell phone problem. See you tomorrow.